Bush. Let's get some more on what's going on. Joining us now, CNN's chief political analyst, Gloria Borger, and defense attorney, Shan Wu. Gloria, first of all, how incredible is it to learn that Cassidy Hutchison actually saw Mark Meadows, who was then the White House chief of staff, go about burning documents?
Well, it is remarkable, it is absurd, and it is clearly in violation of the Presidential Records Act, assuming that every piece of paper in the White House should be archived. I mean, we don't know, let me just say, we don't know what these things were that he was throwing in the fireplace, and we had known that he had on occasion thrown something in the fireplace, but unless this was a newspaper clipping or something to that effect, I think he's got a lot of questions he needs to answer.
He certainly does. What do you think, Shan?
Not to mention his violations of the Clean Air Act for doing that. But yeah, it raises enormous concerns over how documents are being handled, particularly now we know that the former president himself, was rather cavalier in how he handled national security documents. So absolutely, this needs to be looked into, and particularly the timing, these discussions, that period of time, and then burning something right after talking, very suspicious.
You're a former federal prosecutor. How do you think if prosecutors over at the Justice Department are viewing all of these new revelations?
I think that they should be very concerned, and it can certainly go towards the types of questions they may want to put to people if it was at trial or in the grand jury, because it goes to people's state of mind. I mean, why would you be burning documents after you had a meeting? And as to Hutchison in particular, this whole contrast between what she was forthcoming with after she changed lawyers is also very revealing, because it really shows how much pressure she was put under by the Trump world attorneys, because her testimony later was more forthcoming.
And by the way, he was also burning documents, she says, at least twice after a meeting with Congressman Scott Perry.
Exactly.
Now remember, Scott Perry was subpoenaed to testify before the January 6th committee and did not comply.
You know, it's really interesting, these new documents, these transcripts show, Gloria, how much these officials at the White House were influenced by these far-right conspiracy
You mean like QAnon?
Yeah.
I mean, I never thought I'd say QAnon and inside the White House in the same sentence, but Cassidy Hutchison recalls having conversations with the former White House Chief of Staff, Mark Meadows, with Peter Navarro, who was one of the former president's top economic advisors. I mean, these are people with outlandish conspiracy theories, and they were being talked about and trafficked in the White House. And she talks about even the president being told by Marjorie Taylor Greene at a Georgia rally, she said, a lot of my constituents are QAnon, and they'll all be there talking about January 6th.
Yeah, what do you think, Sean?
Well, it's really quite alarming. I mean, you could charitably describe that as being propaganda, but the idea that it's being pushed by an advisor like Navarro saying, take a look at this, these are good ideas, it really raises questions about the type of judgment, the type of discretion being exercised.
Certainly does. Shan Wu, Gloria Borger. Guys, thank you very much. Coming up.